Hey everyone, excited to be back for this week's edition of Frequently Asked Questions for Commercial Real Estate. In today's video, what I wanted to do was share a few tips with those individuals who are looking to lease commercial space if they are, in fact, looking to start a business. I have interacted with many startups since getting into the business back in 2019, and I constantly ask the same questions over and over again. And what I usually do is share these particular tips with them to ensure that they're ready to go and able to execute on leasing a commercial space in this expedient time frame, and also to make sure that they're covering their bases when that process occurs as well. So before we dive in this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you can like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm and ensures more and more people can hear this message and learn about the many facets of commercial real estate. So now you've done that, go ahead and like and subscribe below. Let's go ahead and dive into this episode. All right, so in this video, I'm going to share the top 5 things that you need to consider prior to leasing a commercial space. Again, these are tips that I share with a lot of different startup clients that I've interacted with over the course of the last 4 years of me being in the commercial business, and I really think it's going to benefit you if you in fact are looking to establish a business and lease a commercial space to be able to operate your business out of. Now, the first and probably the most important thing that you need to do prior to even beginning the process of identifying a commercial property to lease is creating a business plan. You don't know what you're going to be doing unless you know where you're going. And so oftentimes when I talk to startups, they're really excited about going out there and finding a commercial space, but they don't have a business plan. They don't have any financials in order. They don't have a lot of things that you would need to do in order to secure commercial space. And the first and foremost is a business plan. So what I often recommend startups do is they go to places like the Small Business Development Center. If you're located in a relatively large or even a medium-sized city, we have a resource center here in Louisville. I always encourage my startup clients to go there to the Small Business Development Center, where they have coaches and other entrepreneurs that can help you create a functional and a well thought out business plan prior to you actually jumping into looking for a commercial space. So that's number 1, create a business plan. Number 2 is to get your financial documents in order. When you're leasing commercial space, you're going to be approaching established landlords to be able to say, hey, take a risk on me, because again, startups often fail. And so if I'm a landlord and I'm looking at your proposal as far as my desire or your desire for leasing this particular space, I want to make sure that I'm taking in a calculated risk, because startups, like I said, don't always last. And so if I'm going to be, going through the hassle of moving you in, paying commissions, maybe allotting some tenant improvement allowance to get you in a position where you can fit up the space properly, and then a year and a half in, you fail, that's losses on me as an owner. So you have to understand that you really got to make sure your documents and records are excellent, so that, people think when they look at you, they say, okay, this person is well researched. They got their stuff together, and they have a higher probability of being a success in business than those who do not do that. So number 2 is to make sure you have financial documents in order. Usually I recommend a personal financial statement where you document all your assets, assets and liabilities, get your balance sheets. If you can provide some form of balance sheet. Tax returns are also helpful as well to document the income that you produced either in business, or maybe if you have a W-2 as well, that could showcase maybe that, if one of your, if your spouse that has a W-2, maybe that could showcase also that you have additional income coming in, even if your business isn't necessarily producing any income. So those are all very helpful data points that a landlord and really a leasing agent is going to review to make sure that in fact you're a good risk to take when it comes to putting your particular business in that space. So that's number 2, is to get your financial documents in order. Number 3 is then you start the process of approaching commercial real estate agents. Although I like to help people get all this stuff organized, it's really nice when I interact with startup clients, or really clients that have their stuff together. They have a business plan. They have personal financial statements. If they've been operating in business, they can showcase their other locations. All these other data points are really going to help your commercial agent sit down with the leasing agent or potential owners and pitch you as a potential tenant. And so, when you go through the process of getting all that stuff in order, now you can go find a commercial real estate agent to be able to help you through the process. Usually I recommend, if you're looking for a commercial real estate agent, to make sure they're really experienced in the tenant rep space. That means representing tenants' best interest when it comes to placing them in commercial properties, and also making sure that they have experience in whatever vertical you're in. So if you're a retailer, maybe you have a clothing store or a coffee shop, that sort of thing, make sure that they in fact have a lot of experience in the retail space, because it's going to be a little bit different than tenant rep in the office side or industrial if you're a logistics company. So when you're interviewing these commercial agents to move forward with, make sure they do have that experience in whatever vertical you yourself are in. So that's number 3, is to find yourself a great commercial real estate agent. Number 4 is to get clear on what you need. Usually what I recommend is getting your budget, understanding what you can have a capital outlay on a monthly basis, what your size requirements, and then also what your location needs are. If you're a logistics company, being close to a major roadway is probably beneficial. So making sure you're close to major arteries. If you're a restaurateur, you're probably going to want to be in a retail corridor that's going to be beneficial for your business. If you're a luxury brand, you may need to be in more an affluent part of town versus other parts of town. So it's all these different things you need to consider prior to actually jumping in to the search, is to get all that isolated and outlined so that your commercial agent can go out there and, try to find you space that fit your needs. And then finally, number 5 is to understand what your leverage is, and then also be willing to compromise. Understand that if you want to be in a top of the line strip center, for example, if you're a retailer, you're probably not going to have a whole lot of leverage if you yourself are a startup, right? Because there's probably going to be other national retailers or other brands that want to be in that location as well. So the landlord will likely have their pick of different tenants that are available. Now, on the other hand, if you're looking to locate in a center that maybe has additional vacancy, maybe there's certain things about the center that aren't necessarily as attractive, then you may have more leverage in negotiations when it comes to that sort of thing. Now, understanding also that you need to be willing to compromise and really understand, what do I absolutely need to have with it when it comes to a space and the deal versus what would be nice to have. And then really lean on the expertise of your commercial real estate agent, because they're going to be able to provide you insights as to what the market dynamics are, and then potentially what's common or uncommon when it comes to requests from these different landlords. And, obviously there's a lot more information that I could share in this video. Those are just the top 5 things that you should consider. In my book, Before You Sign That Lease, here's a copy of it as well. I talk about this among many other concepts when it comes to leasing commercial space. So if you yourself are looking to lease commercial space, I highly encourage you to grab a copy of my book. I have it on Audible. There's a paperback version and also a e-Kindle version as well. So regardless of how you consume content, there's going to be something available for you to be able to do that. Along with that, if you are in the Louisville metro area and you're looking to lease commercial property, I've worked with a variety of different tenants, both smaller end and even larger tenants on the franchising side, to be able to help them identify property for their needs. So feel free to give me a call whenever you can. My number is 502-536-7315, or you can reach me via email at raphael@crescentigroup.com. Along with that, if you like this channel, please like and subscribe. It does make a huge impact on our ability to reach a broader audience, and we would greatly appreciate the support. So thanks again so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time.